Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Geebz here, Decomposer here at the Decomposer Lounge. It's been a few days, hasn't it? Yeah, it's used to me dropping one every day at least, or at least every other day, but it's been, I think, almost like 5 days, 6 days. Well, I had a really super unique week. Very cool, very eye-opening, and one of the more super cool things coming out of it is I finally, after 3 years of being down pre-COVID, I'm getting back into the nonprofit world of working with kids, you know, with the ventriloquism and the puppets and stuff that I've always done with the hospitals, but now I'm going to do it on an educational level, so I'm super pumped. So I'm getting ready, you know, for that. I got my very first big show this Friday, so I've been doing that, and I've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but I am back, and I'm going to bring to you right now Deftones' Diamond Eyes. This is the first time I've listened to this track. That video right there where people are dropping their tracks, I'm going through that, so don't forget to check that out. That link is right down below. It'll say make your suggestion here, and as well as that, also your support, normal links, everything for Cup of Coffee, headsets, Patreon, even my latest Twitch adventure. I'm learning how to play Minecraft and doing video game OSTs at the same time. It's mind-numbing, but I love doing it. As I do love doing it. Let's do this, guys. This is Deftones, Diamond Eyes. All right. Love that 6-8-5-4 shift that they do right there in the hook. Coming in, right? I mean, they just said, no, we're not doing an intro. We're coming in. We're going to hit you with the people's elbows from the beginning. And except for that little, maybe like a 3-second swell of some kind of synth ambient thing, or I don't know if it was a synth or something they may have done with the guitar, most likely with the guitar. And then they just came right in with the verse. That guitar sound is so, there's just something about it. Has a little bit of that Gojira kind of vibe, that rich kind of slightly phase shifty kind of vibe. And I know it doesn't sound, that might not be the right term to use because it doesn't sound like they've used a phase shifter. It's just however it is that they've decided to double that. Sometimes you can mic, you know, 2 sets of you know, 4x12s. There's so many different miking techniques that can give you a really super sick, rich, thick stereo dynamic without having to double, and they nail it. Now, I was expecting, because I think I've gotten used to the fact that Chino also has this incredibly powerful, screaming, heavy metal voice, so I was thinking, okay, this is the first track on this particular album, I'm going to get it. Well, of course, I'm only a minute into it. But I love the tone of his voice on this. This has a lot more of an approachable ambient hook to it and a vibe that I think spreads its, you know, its listening capabilities out to a broader audience. But then again, I don't know, we're not quite into, you know, the rest of this song. But the tone of his voice in here is sick. And I also love, I don't know who produced this particular album, but there are some really unique answer back harmonies that is happening in the hook that are kind of reminiscent of a little more, I don't know, kind of a punchier, trying to think of the name of the band, but it'll come to me as I finish up. Across the sky, I will lead us to the same way.
the need of grace. Come run away with me. Come on, you'll see. Once and for all, time will see us.
Sorry guys, I'm actually going to go back and listen to that little section again because that was so badass when everything pulled out except for the guitars. There's something about those spaces that the quiet, well, it's an old saying, some of the best music is made with the space and the quiet between the notes. I'm going to go back. I don't do this often, but
Across the sky, I will lead us to the same realm. When the coffin shakes and the need of grace, come run away with me. Come on, you'll see. Once and for all, time will see us realign. Diamonds ring across the sky. Shower me into the same realm. Time will lead us to the same realm. I will lead us to the same realm.
There's no two ways about it. This track probably, and for those of you who are big fans of Deftones and knows this particular album really well, is probably that like kind of soft sell into the power of what the rest of the album is truly about. Because I think I did Command, Control, and Sex Tape, I think, off of this album, which definitely seemed to have a lot more throatier, deeper, powerful Deftones, People's Elbow kind of vibe to it. But, he gives you a little bit of the hint of that. Remember I was talking about I was used to hearing or maybe waiting for his voice to explode and rip a little bit. And he gave us a little bit of that in that little turnaround section. And then when they peeled off some of the things here and they let one of the layers kind of ring out, it definitely sounded like there was some kind of motion, analog synth. It's hovering in the background. But in the last hook coming out, you can hear this second melody that was singing off of, it sounded like it could have been quarter notes. Like a quarter note melody that was happening in the back, way in the back, that I was going, is that a guitar that's doing that and just having a white ambient sound? But I think it was that synth sound. But I freaking dig this song, and for me, this was really, like I said earlier, my first stop, seemed like that accessible, like, come on in and play. It's safe. Seriously, no, try, listen. And then they get you in, and all of a sudden you're probably going to get Deftoned with the rest of the project. So anyhow, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you had a really good week. I mean, it's almost over, right? I mean, I haven't put anything on here for about 5-6 days. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm coming back. I got a couple more days I got to do with the stuff that I'm doing for the nonprofit work, and then I'll be back Monday and be able to drop like I do drop. Like usual, support for the coffee and everything right below my Twitch. You want to just check that out. The Twitch, I leave the Twitch VODs open. Like you don't have to be a subscriber with a Prime or something to see it. So if you're just curious on how that works out, you can, or what that looks like, me making an ass out of myself playing Minecraft and stuff, that's all there. All right, guys, take care. Have a killer day. See ya.